You have purchased a second-hand kimono or even a brand new kimono, and you have this thin, white, very delicate thread sewn on the kimono, and you have no clue what it is. This is what I'm going to tell you in this video. I have actually purchased a new kimono tailored to my size. If you want to know how to get a kimono tailored to your size and what you should be careful about when you want to have a kimono tailored to your size, find more on my blog/homepage down in the description box. It's a really beautiful piece, and you already might have seen me wearing this. And there were already a lot of people who were pointing out to me that I had still the white thread on my collar and sleeves. And guess what? Yes, I didn't take it off because of this video. Because the question, what is this white thread on my kimono, is actually a question I asked Google 7 or 8 years ago, I think, when I purchased my first kimono with that white thread on it, because I only purchased secondhand kimono, and usually they are worn kimono, but this white thread is usually not on a worn kimono, which means when you purchase a secondhand or a vintage kimono with this white thread on it, there is a big chance that this kimono wasn't ever worn before. Lucky found, I would say. Lucky found, lucky found. So finally we're gonna make things clear. This white thread on your kimono is called shitsuke ito in Japanese, and when you look it up in the dictionary, it will come up, it's basting. Basting is, I think, in Japan a little different than in Western countries. I don't sew Western clothes. Actually, it's so hard for me to say Western clothes because it's just clothes, but kimono are clothes for me too, so it's kind of like you have to dress it right. That's, by the way, how in Japanese they address Western clothes with Western clothes. It's called yofuku. The basting, I think, for Western clothes is when you sew something and you want to have a lining on it, that you will stitch the lining on the fabric you will have on top roughly together. That's what I guess, because I never bought very expensive Western clothes and I don't buy any Western clothes recently, plus I don't sew them, so I have no clue. But I think you take them off. I think you take the basting off after you sewed it properly together. In basai, which is how to make kimono, when you sew a kimono, it's a little different. The basting is stitched on the kimono when the kimono is done. So you have finished everything, and the last thing you would do is make the basting, and you will deliver this product to your customer with the basting on it, because the basting helps that the kimono keeps its shape. I find this very interesting because I never heard that you will have to take off a basting of a suit, of a brand new suit you bought. I think the tailor will do this for you, but in Japan, nope. You will have to take the basting of your kimono before you actually wear it. The kimono I have here today is a summer kimono, just to show you its whole glory. It's so beautiful. It's a linen and cotton mix, and it's made by my very favorite linen kimono producer, which is called Shinosuke Jofu, and it's only one old man in Shiga Prefecture who produces this, and I hope he will continue to produce it for a while. If that old man is gone, we will never have this awesome kimonos anymore. I'm about to cry. I'm such a huge fan. I love all of the kimono, and I think I already have 4 of them, and they're all tailored to my size, and they're so cheap. It's crazy how cheap they are. Okay, let's just stop here. Let's just stop here. Am I ever going to take off this basting today? No, I'm just talking too much. I'm really sorry for my very long videos recently. I'm really sorry. So, okay, this kimono is a hitoi kimono. This means I have less places I have to take off the basting. So I have less basting on this kimono. You have usually 3 basting places. The first is always the collar. You have always a basting in the collar. Why do you have a basting there is because it doesn't matter which color it is, you put some kind of extra fabric into the color to make it a little stiffer, so it has this really nice shape. Second is always sleeves. You always have a basting at the sleeves, but it's not like the whole thing round. It's from the opening of the sleeves, which is called sodeguchi in Japanese, to the round corner and then straight to the edge. And this would be all basting you would have. I think this basting is here just to keep the sleeve a little longer in shape, because here is no core or anything used. And the last basting is always the bottom hem, which is called suso in Japanese. You always have there a basting, because when it is a lined kimono, which is awase, you would need a basting there to hold the core. There's also core inside of that. The core, the lining and the top fabric together and perfectly in shape. So when you have, for example, a very, very old awase at home and you have it hanging there for a while, or if you wear it a lot, it can be that the suso shape will kind of start to change. This is the one day when you will have to take off all the lining, renew the core, get a new lining, and then it will look like totally brand new. Good thing about kimono, you can always kind of fix it. Hitoi kimono don't have a basting on the bottom hem, the suso, because you don't have a lining. Sometimes they do have a basting there. I don't know why sometimes, but usually they don't. My recommendation is always look at those 3 points if there is a lining, and then just take it off. Okay, so let's get started. To take off the basting, I have this small ripper. You could take this kind of scissors you often use for sewing. Whatever you feel more confident with. I maybe like the ripper a little more. And we're gonna start at the collar. So here is the start. Here's the start of the collar. And usually the basting is where the second collar, the so-called kyo-eri or kake-eri, is attached. And when they're really good at it, you won't find the start of the basting anywhere, which means I just pull it and then rip it off. It's so delicate, it's so hard to see. And the good thing is that it's sewn so loosely that you can just take it a few centimeters from the end and then just pull it off. And when you find the knot on the other side, you could just take the knot and pull it out like this. I can't find it, so I just rip it off. And it's very, very, very fine and delicate silk. So if you're looking for a nice silk thread you want to use, you can still take this, so don't throw it away. The next thing, because I have no basting on the hem here, I'm gonna go with the sleeves. There's this long basting outside, and on the inside you have just very small stitches. So you usually find the knot in the openings of the sleeves, which is very good. So maybe this is good for the last stop to take it off. So I'm gonna start with the other end. When you open it up, you will find the white line here in the middle, and I just put my ripper into it and put it off. By the way, little fun fact about basting and kimono. There is a Japanese kotowaza. I will put the English word here. There is a Japanese which says when a man takes off the basting of your kimono will become more. That's why I usually have my husband taking off the basting. Okay. And then to the other sleeve, and I will do exactly the same thing. And yeah, that's all about I have to say about basting and kimono, and I talk to you in my next video next week, which is hopefully, I don't know what it will be. Let's look forward to it. Feel free to subscribe. If you haven't yet, leave me a comment and a thumbs up and all the things you should do, because you're also awesome. Bye!